there, I'm Christina Johnson, transformational nutrition coach, and today we are going to talk about one of the big reasons why so many diets don't work and they don't help people lose weight and keep it off long term. I mean, did you know that 95% of diets are proven not to work? I mean, so many different researchers have shown that to be the case. So diets can often help people lose weight temporarily, but they don't often work long term. And so this month in February, each week, I'm going to be sharing one of the many reasons why diets don't typically work. And so this is a topic that I've studied extensively because I really do want to be able to help you and help my clients figure out how to lose weight and feel better in a way that actually works long term. So I've done a lot of research on this, and I've also, dealt with this in my personal life and worked with many different clients on this issue as well. And so I will each week just talk about one common reason why diets aren't working, what it is about it that makes it hard to lose weight and keep it off, and also give you some ideas on what do you do instead. I mean, if diets aren't working, we need to know what do we actually do to lose weight and to feel better. So that's what you can be expecting from me throughout the month of February. And I would love to know, first of all, from you in the comments, what is one reason why you feel like diets don't often work, whether it's from your own personal experience or from the experience of others. If you would just type in the comments, what is one reason why you think diets don't work? And if we haven't met yet, I'm Christina Johnson, a transformational nutrition coach. I have a private health coaching practice, and I focus primarily on working typically with women who have struggled for years, if not most of their life, with trying to lose weight and keep it off. And a lot of my clients just feel like they don't have a good relationship with food. And so I help them create a healthy lifestyle and a healthy relationship with food so that they lose weight, but also so that they have more energy and feel better and just feel more happy and confident and comfortable in their body. So that's a little bit about me, but let's jump in and start talking about today's topic, which is food sensitivities. So this is the first reason that I want to share with you why traditional diets don't work. So first, let me just explain what a food sensitivity is. So it's different than an allergy. So my sister, for example, has an allergy to peanuts. If she eats anything with peanuts, if she can even smell peanuts in the air, she has an immediate and life-threatening reaction to it. That is an allergy. But on the other hand, a food sensitivity is a food that you eat, but your body just doesn't digest it well or tolerate it well. And so it causes some inflammation in your body, causes a bit of a reaction. And when we eat those foods repeatedly, when we continue eating a food that we're sensitive to, it can cause chronic inflammation and cause different symptoms. So the one thing about a food sensitivity that I want to note that's different than an allergy is it can take up to 72 hours to notice a symptom. So I could eat something today that I'm sensitive to, and I may not notice a reaction for anywhere between now and 3 days. So it does make it a little tricky to figure out how to tell what you're sensitive to. So I'm going to talk about how to figure that out in a minute. But here are some common symptoms that food sensitivities can cause. So a lot of times they can cause aches and pains. I mean, for me, for sure, when I eat nightshades like peppers and tomatoes, I get more aches and pains in my joints. It can also cause acne. Dairy, for example, causes a lot of people skin issues or extra congestion and mucus or digestive issues. So having diarrhea, that's a really common sign that you're not reacting well to a food, or just gas, bloating, constipation, that can all be signs of a food sensitivity. Also, feeling tired when you're eating a food that you're sensitive to, that can drain you of your energy and you just feel more fatigued. It can make it a lot more difficult to lose weight. When you are eating a food regularly that you're sensitive to, your body just has extra inflammation and it can just hold on to extra weight. But also food sensitivities can cause things like bad breath, headaches, there's so many things, trouble sleeping. The list goes on and on. So there's all different kinds of symptoms that food sensitivities can cause. And what tends to happen is that different people have different reactions to foods. So some people might always notice joint pain, and other people's it's more digestive issues. So So like I said, when you're eating a food often that you're sensitive to, it can raise levels of inflammation in your body. And so it doesn't matter if you're on a diet and you're cutting back calories, even if you're eating like 1,200 calories a day, but you're always eating dairy and your body is sensitive to dairy, you still might struggle to lose weight. So that's one of the issues with traditional diets, is they're not focused on what you are eating as much as how much. And so we want to make sure that we're eating foods that our body tolerates well and digests well. So just to give you an idea of some of the most common foods that people tend to be sensitive to, a big one is gluten, which you've probably heard about before. That's talked about a lot. So that's things made from wheat, rye, barley. So gluten is a big one. Dairy is another big one. Dr. Mark Hyman, who's a functional medicine expert, he estimates that 75% of Americans can't tolerate dairy very well, and that can lead to a whole host of symptoms. I should also say that JJ Virgin, who's a nutrition expert, she's found in her practice that probably about 80 to 90% of her clients feel better when they're not on gluten. So those are two really big ones. Soy is another really common food sensitivity. Corn is another one. Peanuts can be a common food sensitivity as well as an allergy. Nightshades are a big problem. So nightshades are a class of vegetables. It includes peppers, really any kind of bell pepper, jalapeno, tomatoes, eggplant, and white potatoes. So that would be another common one. Eggs can also be one that people tend to be sensitive to, especially if you have any kind of autoimmune condition, then sometimes eggs can be aggravating it. So that's just kind of a list of some of the most common foods that you're sensitive to. And so there's different ways to tell if you have a food sensitivity or not. There are food sensitivity tests that you can take. They're usually blood tests. I've done a blood test. I've also done like a hair and saliva test. And those are helpful. They can give you some information. But honestly, most experts will agree that probably the number one way to really figure out what you're sensitive to is to do a food elimination diet. And so what I mean by that is that you set aside a certain amount of days, and I recommend at least 3 weeks, if not 4, where you completely avoid those most common food sensitivities. So for example, in my 21-day clean eating reset, we avoid, for those 21 days, gluten, dairy, corn, soy, peanuts, nightshades. It seems like a lot, but in 21 days or even up to a month, you're getting all of those foods out of your system. Your body can kind of get back to normal, and my guess is you're going to start feeling a little bit better. You might start dropping weight, having less puffiness and inflammation. Your digestion might improve. You'll have fewer aches and pains. And then at the end of that period of time, whether it's 3 or 4 weeks or even longer, then what you want to do is you reintroduce foods one at a time. So for example, you might reintroduce corn. So you have corn once a day for 3 days, and you just see if any of your old symptoms return. And if they do, then you know that corn is probably something that bothers you. If no symptoms return, then you know that it's probably safe. So that really, that's kind of just a nutshell version, but that is really, I think, the most effective way that I've seen to really figure out what foods you're sensitive to. You avoid them completely for 3 to 4 weeks, and then you reintroduce them one at a time. It is really powerful. I've helped so many people do this, and it's so fun to see how much better you can feel in a short amount of time when you're not eating those foods you're sensitive to, and how much easier it is to lose weight, and how much more energy you have. And then once you reintroduce the foods, then you have information, like for example, I've had clients who figure out that dairy causes acne. And so then they know, they can still eat dairy if they want, but if they have, like they're getting married soon or they're getting pictures taken, then they know they probably want to avoid dairy before that happens. And so it's just really powerful information to figure out what foods you're sensitive to so that you know like what you can do to feel better every single day. So that is what I would suggest, and this is one of the big reasons why diets don't work, is because they don't address one of this underlying cause of weight gain, fatigue, and not feeling good, which is food sensitivities. So my suggestion to you, if you're wanting to give this a try, would just be to spend 3 to 4 weeks where you're avoiding those most common foods that people are sensitive to, and just see if you start to feel better or not. And if you would like some support with this, because it can be a bit of a process to figure out, and to figure out, well, what do you eat if you're not going to eat gluten or dairy or corn or soy? It's a long list of things to avoid. Then I would be happy to help you with that as well. This is doing a food sensitivity test, or food sensitivity kind of elimination program, is one of the things that I cover in my 90-day total body reset with clients. So this is one thing that we cover, but we also cover a lot of the other reasons why diets don't work, like figuring out why you're eating even though you're not hungry, figuring out how to improve your sleep and your stress, and all of those other things that really stop people from losing weight and keeping it off long term. So if you would love some support, and if you are just feeling really ready and committed to do what it takes to create a healthy lifestyle and healthy relationship with food so that you can lose weight and keep it off and just feel better, then I would love to offer you a complimentary discovery session where we can just talk about what your goals are, what you're struggling with right now, and I will help you identify what are the obstacles that are stopping you from losing weight and keeping it off. Because like I said, food sensitivities is a big one, but it is just one out of, I don't know, I would say probably maybe even 100. There's lots of reasons why diets don't work. And so during a discovery session, we can look at some of those things that might be getting in your way. And then if one of my coaching programs, like my Total Body Reset program, seems like a great way to help you really lose weight and keep it off, then I'll give you some more information about that as well. So that is everything that I have for you. If you have any questions about food sensitivities, just put them in the comments below. I'll come back, check later, and answer them for you. And if you'd like one of those complimentary lose weight and keep it off discovery sessions, then send me a message. I will send you a link to my calendar. We'll get that scheduled, and we'll see how I can help you really accomplish those health and weight loss goals that you have. And remember, every week in the month of February, I'm going to be talking about another reason why diets don't work and giving you some insight and ideas on what to do instead. So make sure, if you're watching on Facebook, that you have liked my Facebook page so that you catch all these future videos. And if you're watching on YouTube, just make sure to subscribe to my channel and you'll receive notifications when a new video goes live. So I am happy to answer any questions that you have. I hope you have a wonderful evening, and I will talk to you again next week. Bye for now.